Welcome back. Now, the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung will be hosting a presidential candidate discussion tomorrow in the capital under the theme Promoting Effective Democracy Through Critical and Robust Dialogue. I'm now joined in studio for more insight into this platform by Natalie Russmann, who is the country director of, that is, the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung. Very good day to you, Ms. Russmann. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
It's a pleasure being here today. Good morning.
I'm sure you're equally excited as we are for tomorrow's that is discussion, yes?
Absolutely. We are very excited, and we hope that we get a huge participation from the public and also from the political parties invited.
Very much indeed. Obviously, this is a common practice around the world, in other parts of the world. Just what inspired the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung to come up with a platform, with a dialogue of this nature?
Yeah. First of all, let me emphasize that Namibia is a nation with democratic values, yes, where the freedom of press, the freedom of speech is not just a statement, just not only on the paper, but it's really live. Absolutely. And it's in practice. And this is an exercise in that regard, as well. And it shows also the robustness of the democracy, yes, and also a kind of benchmark. Yeah. So the initiative, it's, as you already mentioned, it's a tradition in many democratic nations, yes, when it comes to election. Absolutely. And it's an election year, it's an exciting year. Yeah. And and the election is about a competition, it's, yes, a race. And we would like to give the public the opportunity to meet and to witness the presidential candidates, yes, on stage. So it's a kind of dialogue between decision makers, between politicians and the public. So that's the one thing. And secondly, also it's part of our voters education program. True. It's a measure in regard of voters' apathy. Yes. We hear it many times. And we hope that we can have as much as possible participation and voters turn out in the upcoming election. And this is the main purpose, by the way. Yes. And this is just one platform among many others. Very much indeed. So, and it will not be the only one. There will be hopefully more.
A number of them before.
Right, and we have, as I mentioned earlier, many other activities in our programs where we would like to educate the voters, to share information about the upcoming election, about registration, when it's to happen, and why it's important to vote. Absolutely. It's really important to exercise your democratic rights and not to complain later on. And and it happens not behind the curtain. It's transparent. Yes. It's open to public, yeah, so everybody can join. And we choose the Hilton Hotel at 5 o'clock on Thursday. Yeah. So it's in the CBD and hopefully reachable for many of us. And also it's going to be online streamed. Yes. So there's a possibility also to participate online. And let's see what's all about, and we hope it's going to be an impact towards more participation in the upcoming election.
Talk to us about the format of this discussion. Exactly how do you see this playing out here?
Well, the format is quite compact and clear. There will be two sessions. The session number one is that the political parties invited. There will be 12 political parties invited to join that event. Yes. Out of 19 in total, in line with the ECN register. Yes. But as I mentioned earlier, there will be a second round to accommodate those who could not join, or we know the busy schedule of politicians at this time, and we would like to give them a second chance as well. So in the first part of the program, there will be questions raised to the candidates, yes, and everybody will have or allocated the same specific time, yeah, so it's hopefully be as fair as possible. Yes. And in the second round, there will be Q&A from the public. Okay. Nice. And we really try to conceptualize it as fair and transparent as possible. So this is really a challenge, but it's an open debate. It's that's how democracy is. So it's we cannot predict everything. But and then this is the challenge, but also the attraction of a live debate. It's, yes, happening live, so nobody can hide behind the curtain. So they have to reply. And it's interesting to see the reaction, how the candidates will protect or argue around their positions, how is their fitnesses and readiness in that sense. So it will be quite interesting, and it's really good to have also the media so much on board, because we heard about that already earlier. It's an important role in the democracy is the media.
As the fourth estate, very much indeed.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Of course, we know that politics can get quite intense, can get quite disruptive in some instances as well. What mechanisms have you put in place to deal with any disturbances, to deal with any issues of disruption, etc.?
Of course, there's always a certain risk. I mean, it's a live event, so we cannot predict everything. But there are, of course, rules of discussions
that these political parties have to comply to. Yes.
Right, the political parties have to comply to, but also the public, also the participants, their disclaimers, and we try to be as exclusive as possible. We also take care for persons with disabilities, so there will be sign language interpreters, and also some procurement for those who are visually impaired. So we really try to be as inclusive as possible. And let me also point out, beside the rules and of discussions that are implemented, and I also believe in the respect manner and behavior and peacefulness of Namibians. I mean, Namibia is very famous for this, so I don't expect any disruptions or violence. But anyhow, we never know. So we also informed the city police, and would like also to say a word of thanks to their contribution. They will be patrolling around, and if there's any cases happening, we are on direct contact with the city police.
Fantastic. Ms. Russmann, I think this is a wonderful initiative and will indeed get the discussion going. We'll get the electorate to know, some of these candidates better. Just, of course, as tomorrow fast approaches and as we head towards the end of this discussion, what precedents do you hope that this engagement, I believe this is the first for the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung, what precedents do you hope that this will set, not only for your institution as part of your civic activities and civic education, but also, of course, as far as voter apathy is concerned, as far as dialogue around these elections are concerned? What impact do you hope it will ultimately have here?
Well, I hope this will be a kind of a catalyst or empower the discussion in the country about the candidates, about the political parties. We all know that the political parties are often very much making noise about inside fightings, but they should be rather seen as servant also for the public. And I hope this will be a contribution towards that. And we hope that in generally that it will be empower the democracy, will consolidate democracy, and a contribution towards the robustness of the democracy in Namibia. That's the main purpose, and that's going to be kind of also a free and fair election. We have seen some incidents in regard of violence, to take it back to a proper discussion rather than to have violence on the street. This is something we all don't need. So I hope it's a contribution towards that, and also a contribution to civic education. Very much indeed.
Ms. Russmann, thank you so much for being here. Good luck with tomorrow. I will definitely be tuning in, and I can't wait to see how this platform and this dialogue unfolds. Thank you for being here.
It was a great pleasure being here. Thank you so much.
There you have it, Country Director of the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung, Natalie Russmann, talking to us tomorrow about a presidential dialogue that's happening at the Hilton Hotel starting at 5 p.m. Of course, 12 political parties will be participating, and you can get to know better as far as their thinking, as far as their ideologies are concerned, as Namibia heads to, that is, the November elections. This is a first of many, as you heard there from Mr. Russmann, pardon me, and they will, of course, be holding a number of engagements as we approach towards the elections later this year. Hilton Hotel, 5 p.m., that's tomorrow. You can also tune in to, that is, the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung social media platforms to, of course, stream and tune in to this dialogue. Do stay with us. We have more interviews coming your way.